The anti-aging industry spends billions targeting the surface. Traditional Chinese medicine spent 5,000 years targeting the source, the cellular processes that drive aging from within. And the foods they documented still work. Superfood number 7 carries a 2,000-year-old Chinese proverb that modern molecular biology just confirmed is biologically accurate. Superfood number 14 was used by Chinese emperors to reverse visible signs of aging, and researchers have now identified the exact enzyme it activates that no synthetic supplement has matched. Here are 15 Chinese superfoods that keep you young. Subscribe if you want more of this every week. Let's begin. Superfood 1. Goji berries, gaoqizi. Listed in the oldest Chinese herbal text as a premier longevity food, prescribed for over 2,000 years to brighten vision, nourish the liver, and extend healthy lifespan. Modern science confirmed all three are directly connected. Goji berries contain one of the highest concentrations of zeaxanthin of any food on Earth, the pigment that protects the retina from age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in people over 50. A UC Davis clinical trial found participants who consumed a handful of goji berries 5 times weekly for 90 days significantly increased protective eye pigment density, outperforming a commercial eye health supplement taken by the control group over the same period. A whole food beat a concentrated supplement. Goji polysaccharides also reduce DNA damage in immune cells and decrease malondialdehyde, a direct biomarker of oxidative cellular aging, confirmed in a 30-day randomized trial. How to use: 20 to 30 grams of dried berries daily, in soups, porridge, or steeped as tea. Choose Ningxia region berries for highest polysaccharide content. Steep 1 tablespoon in hot water for 10 minutes, drink the tea, and eat the berries. Superfood 2 has been the cornerstone of Chinese anti-aging medicine for over 1,500 years, and its mechanism works at a level most people have never considered. Superfood 2. Black sesame seeds, heijima. In traditional Chinese medicine, black sesame was classified as a superior food for preserving Jing, the fundamental essence governing aging, reproduction, and vitality. When Jing depletes, the body ages. That ancient framework maps precisely onto what modern biochemistry now describes as mitochondrial health and hormonal reserve. Black sesame contains sesamol and sesamin, 2 lignans shown to activate longevity pathways and extend lifespan in multiple laboratory models. It is one of the most bioavailable sources of calcium in the food kingdom, surpassing dairy per gram, and contains vitamin E that protects neurons from oxidative damage. Sesame lignans inhibit inflammatory cytokines that accumulate with age and drive the chronic low-grade inflammation researchers now call inflammaging, the molecular foundation of most age-related disease. A Chinese clinical study confirmed reduced oxidative stress markers in elderly participants after 12 weeks of consistent consumption. How to use: grind fresh seeds and add 1 to 2 tablespoons to porridge, smoothies, or warm water daily. Grinding is essential. Whole seeds may pass through undigested, delivering none of the active compounds. The grinding releases the lignans. The whole seed stores them. Superfood 3 carries the most famous longevity proverb in Chinese culture. And when researchers examined what 3 of them daily actually deliver, the findings aligned with the proverb precisely. Superfood 3. Red dates, hongzao. The proverb has been repeated for over 2,000 years. Eat 3 red dates daily and you will never grow old. Modern nutritional science examined what 3 red dates daily actually deliver. Red dates contain 13 times more vitamin C than regular brown dates, more per gram than most citrus fruits. Vitamin C is the essential cofactor for collagen synthesis. Without it, the body cannot build or repair the structural protein responsible for skin firmness, arterial elasticity, and joint integrity. Red date triterpenoids protect the liver from oxidative damage. Jujube extract has been confirmed to increase red blood cell production and reduce cortisol-driven aging through the central nervous system. One of the only foods documented to address both collagen synthesis and stress-induced cellular aging simultaneously. How to use: simmer 3 to 5 dried dates in water for 20 minutes and drink daily as tonic tea. The simmering releases the triterpenoids into the liquid. Drink the tea, eat the dates, consume everything. Add to rice porridge or soup for consistent daily nutrition. Superfood 4 was the daily practice of the only woman to rule China as emperor. and researchers have now identified exactly why it preserved her appearance for decades. Superfood 4. White fungus, Bai Mu Er. Empress Wu Zetian, the only woman in Chinese history to rule as emperor, consumed white fungus daily throughout her Tang dynasty reign as her primary anti-aging practice. She maintained her appearance into old age in a way that contemporary observers documented with consistent astonishment. Modern food science identified why. White fungus contains a natural polysaccharide that mimics hyaluronic acid, the molecule responsible for skin hydration and structural plumpness. The white fungus polysaccharide molecule is smaller than plant-derived hyaluronic acid, allowing it to penetrate skin layers more effectively than many commercial supplements. A clinical study found white fungus supplementation significantly improved skin hydration, elasticity, and reduced fine lines after 8 weeks. Its beta-glucans also strengthen immune function that measurably declines with age. How to use? Soak dried white fungus for 2 hours, then simmer with red dates and a small amount of rock sugar for 45 minutes. This tonic soup has been consumed for longevity in China for centuries. The preparation is simple. The results are documented across 2,000 years of consistent use. I want to pause here for a moment, not to interrupt the list, but because if you're the kind of person who watches a video like this all the way through, you deserve more than just information. You deserve something you can actually use every day. So I put together a complete companion guide for everything we're covering. How to source each of these foods, how to prepare them correctly, and how to build them into a daily routine that actually fits real life. Not a research summary, a practical daily resource. It's in the first pinned comment below. No pressure at all, but if you're serious about what we're talking about, I think you'll find it invaluable. Now let's keep going, we're just getting started. Superfood 5. Green tea, Lu Cha. Consumed in China for over 4,700 years, making it one of the oldest continuously used medicinal beverages in human history. Green tea contains EGCG, the most extensively studied antioxidant compound in the world, with over 5,000 published research papers examining its biological mechanisms. EGCG neutralizes free radicals that damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes, the core process driving both cancer development and biological aging simultaneously. A study of over 40,000 Japanese adults found those who drank 5 or more cups of green tea daily had a 26% lower risk of cardiovascular death over an 11-year follow-up. EGCG crosses the blood-brain barrier and inhibits amyloid beta plaque formation linked to Alzheimer's disease. It also activates autophagy, the cellular self-cleaning process that declines with age and whose dysfunction is increasingly recognized as the central mechanism of aging itself. How to use? Brew at 75 to 80 degrees Celsius to preserve EGCG. Boiling water degrades the compound before it reaches you. 3 to 5 cups daily. Matcha delivers 137 times more EGCG than standard brewed green tea per serving because you consume the whole leaf, not just a brew. The difference between standard green tea and matcha is not aesthetic. It is the difference between drinking what the leaf releases and consuming the leaf itself. Superfood 6 takes an ingredient used in Chinese medicine for 3,000 years and transforms it through fermentation into something the body can absorb 30 times more efficiently. Superfood 6. Black garlic, Hei Da Suan. Ordinary garlic has been used in Chinese medicine for 3,000 years. Black garlic is aged for 30 days under controlled heat and humidity, transforming its compounds entirely. This is not a flavor modification, it is a biochemical transformation. Fermentation converts allicin into S-allylcysteine, a stable compound absorbed by the body 30 times more efficiently than allicin from raw garlic. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found black garlic extract significantly reduced LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and blood pressure, while increasing HDL cholesterol over 12 weeks. Black garlic activates the NRF2 pathway, the master regulator of antioxidant response in the body. NRF2 activity declines with age, and its activation is associated with extended lifespan across multiple organisms. The ancient use was garlic. The modern upgrade is black garlic. The mechanism is the same. The bioavailability is 30 times greater. How to use? 2 to 3 cloves daily. Black garlic has a mild, sweet, balsamic flavor with none of the pungency of raw garlic. It can be eaten directly, spread on food, or added to any dish without the social consequences of raw garlic consumption. Superfoods 7. This is the one I mentioned at the beginning, the ancient proverb that modern molecular biology just confirmed. Superfood 7. Longan fruit, Long Yan Ro, meaning dragon eye fruit. Used in traditional Chinese medicine for over 2,000 years to nourish the heart, calm the mind, and restore mental clarity after exhaustion. The proverb associated with longan says, "Those who eat dragon eye fruit will not age in the mind." Modern neuroscience has now identified the mechanism. Longan polysaccharides extended lifespan in Caenorhabditis elegans, laboratory models by activating the same gene pathways targeted by caloric restriction, one of the most validated longevity interventions known to science. Longan contains ellagic acid and gallic acid, both shown to have significant anti-aging effects through antioxidant and anti-inflammatory mechanisms. A study found the traditional longan and red date combination significantly improved sleep quality, reduced anxiety, and enhanced memory consolidation in elderly participants over 8 weeks. Traditional Chinese medicine described this as nourishing the heart and calming the mind. Modern neuroscience describes it as serotonin and GABA pathway support. The ancient observation was neurologically precise. How to use: add dried longan to red date tea and simmer together for 20 minutes. This nightly tonic combination has been consumed across China for centuries and remains one of the most widely practiced TCM preparations for cognitive aging. Superfood 8 was the daily beauty ritual of Yang Guifei, considered the most beautiful woman in Chinese history, and the biological reason her skin responded to it has now been confirmed in human fibroblast research. Superfood 8, tremella mushroom, Tianhua fen, also called silver ear mushroom. Historical texts record that Yang Guifei, considered the most beautiful woman in Chinese history and the favorite consort of Emperor Xuanzong of the Tang dynasty, consumed tremella daily to maintain her complexion. The imperial beauty protocol was documented and preserved. The science eventually caught up. Research in the International Journal of Biological Macromolecules found tremella polysaccharides stimulate collagen synthesis in human skin fibroblasts while simultaneously inhibiting collagen-degrading enzymes. This dual action, building new collagen while protecting existing collagen, makes tremella functionally superior to single-mechanism supplements that address only one side of skin aging. Tremella beta-glucan strengthen immune function, and its polysaccharides have shown neuroprotective effects in Alzheimer's models, reducing amyloid beta toxicity in hippocampal neurons. An imperial beauty food that also protects the brain. The ancient world did not separate these outcomes. Neither does the modern research. How to use: soak overnight, then simmer for 1 hour with red dates and goji berries. This imperial beauty soup has been consumed by Chinese women for skin health for over 2,000 years. The preparation is slow and deliberate, which is precisely what 2,000 years of consistent results look like. Superfood 9 works at a level most anti-aging interventions cannot reach. It targets the biological clock at the end of every chromosome. Superfood 9, astragalus root, huangqi. Astragalus does not work on symptoms, it works on the mechanism. Telomeres, the protective caps at the end of every chromosome, shorten with every cell division. When they become too short, cells stop dividing, become senescent, and begin driving systemic inflammation. This is the molecular definition of aging. Cycloastragenol from astragalus activates telomerase, the enzyme that rebuilds telomere length. It is the only food-sourced compound ever shown to directly act on the cellular aging clock in this way. A review in Aging and Disease confirmed astragalus polysaccharides extend lifespan, enhance antioxidant capacity, and regulate the insulin signaling pathway associated with longevity across multiple models. The pharmaceutical derivative of this compound, TA65, is sold as an anti-aging supplement for thousands of dollars per month. The source plant has been simmered in Chinese soups for 2,000 years. How to use: simmer dried root slices in bone broth or chicken soup for 2 to 3 hours. Remove before eating. The polysaccharides extract slowly into liquid through long, slow cooking. The traditional preparation is a long simmered soup, not a quick tea. The time is part of the medicine. Astragalus is one of the safest plants in the herbal pharmacopoeia. It has been consumed daily in large quantities across Asian populations for thousands of years without significant adverse effects. Add dried root slices directly to any broth-based dish you are already making. The investment is time, not complexity. Superfood 10 is where Chinese imperial beauty culture and modern collagen science arrive at the exact same conclusion, through completely different paths. Superfood 10. Pearl powder. Zhenjufen. Pearl powder has been used in Chinese imperial medicine for over 1,500 years, consumed internally and applied externally by empresses and court ladies. Empress Dowager Cixi, who ruled China for nearly 5 decades and was renowned for her youthful appearance into late age, consumed pearl powder daily as part of her longevity regimen. This is documented in imperial records, not legend. Pearl powder contains calcium carbonate in aragonite form, over 30 trace minerals, and conchiolin protein structurally similar to human collagen at the molecular level. Research confirmed pearl powder signal molecules directly stimulate human fibroblasts to increase collagen production and superoxide dismutase, one of the body's most powerful internal antioxidant enzymes. A study in the International Journal of Cosmetic Science found pearl powder stimulated collagen synthesis and reduced oxidative skin aging markers through mechanisms distinct from any plant-based antioxidant. Conchiolin protein also demonstrates calming effects on the central nervous system, explaining the traditional Chinese use of pearl for anxiety and insomnia, both of which accelerate aging when chronic. 0.5 gram to 1 gram of pharmaceutical-grade freshwater pearl powder, daily in warm water or tonic soup. Fine milling is essential for bioavailability. Coarse powder passes through without absorption. Source carefully. The quality gap in this category is wide. Superfood 11 is called the 5-flavor fruit in Chinese medicine because it contains all 5 flavors simultaneously, and each one corresponds to a different organ system it protects. Superfood 11. Schisandra berry, Wuwei, meaning 5-flavor fruit. Schisandra has been used in Chinese medicine for over 2,000 years as an adaptogen, a substance that increases the body's nonspecific resistance to stress. In traditional TCM, it was classified as one of the 50 fundamental herbs and prescribed specifically for people whose aging appeared accelerated by chronic stress. Modern endocrinology has confirmed that chronic cortisol elevation accelerates cellular aging at a measurable rate. Schisandra directly addresses that pathway. Schisandra lignans, Schisandrin A, B, and C, modulate the HPA axis, reducing excessive cortisol secretion while supporting adrenal function. Clinical research has found Schisandra supplementation significantly improved mental performance, reduced fatigue, and enhanced liver enzyme activity in participants under stress. Its hepatoprotective effects are among the strongest of any food compound studied, protecting the liver from oxidative damage that accumulates with age. A study in phytomedicine found Schisandra extract improved skin hydration and elasticity over 12 weeks, a result attributed to its cortisol-lowering effect, since chronic cortisol elevation directly degrades collagen and skin barrier function. How to use: dried Schisandra berries steeped as tea, 1 teaspoon per cup, simmered 5 minutes, or as a standardized extract. The flavor is genuinely complex, simultaneously sour, sweet, salty, bitter, and pungent. The 5 flavors the ancient Chinese identified correspond biochemically to 5 distinct active compound families. The name was a nutritional classification, not poetry. For stress-related aging specifically, consistent daily use over 8 to 12 weeks produces the most significant effects on cortisol markers and skin hydration. This is not a food for occasional use. It was prescribed daily, which is exactly how the traditional use documented its results. Superfood 12 has been called the mushroom of immortality for 2,000 years, and the compounds that earned that name are now studied in cancer research centers worldwide. Superfood 12. Reishi mushroom, Lingzhi meaning spirit plant or mushroom of immortality. For 2,000 years, reishi was reserved for Chinese emperors and the highest imperial court. Too valuable for common use, too effective to share widely. Ancient texts described it as the food that confers immortality on those who consume it consistently over years. The mechanism is now understood. Reishi contains triterpenes, specifically ganideric acids, that modulate the immune system with a precision that pharmaceutical immunologists are actively studying. These compounds inhibit histamine release, regulate inflammatory cytokine production, and enhance natural killer cell activity simultaneously. A systematic review published in Cochrane found reishi mushroom extract significantly enhanced immune response markers. Its polysaccharides activate macrophage function and support T-cell proliferation. Reishi also contains adenosine and ergosterol, compounds that support cardiovascular function and reduce platelet aggregation, addressing two of the primary mechanisms of age-related cardiovascular decline. The mushroom of immortality did not earn its name from mysticism. It earned it from results observed across 2,000 years of consistent imperial use. How to use? Reishi is too bitter and woody to eat directly. Simmer dried slices in water for 2 hours as a decoction, or use standardized extract powder in hot water or tonic soup. Long cooking extracts the ganideric acids. Short steeping delivers primarily the polysaccharides. Both matter, which is why the traditional preparation specified hours, not minutes. For consistent daily use, dual extraction reishi powder is the most practical form. It captures both the water-soluble polysaccharides and the alcohol-soluble triterpenes that give reishi its full biological profile. Superfood 13 has been used in Chinese medicine for 3,000 years for what TCM called circulating qi, what modern cardiology now describes as peripheral circulation and vascular elasticity. Superfood 13, ginger root, shengjiang. Ginger appears in the earliest Chinese medical texts as a fundamental warming herb, prescribed for what traditional medicine called cold invasion, stagnant circulation, and diminished digestive fire. These descriptions were clinical observations, not metaphor. Modern research has confirmed the biochemical mechanisms behind each one. Gingerols and shogaols, ginger's primary active compounds, are among the most potent natural inhibitors of COX-2 enzymes, the same enzymes targeted by ibuprofen and aspirin in reducing systemic inflammation. Unlike pharmaceutical COX-2 inhibitors, ginger does not damage the gastrointestinal lining with consistent use. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found ginger supplementation significantly reduced fasting blood glucose, insulin resistance, and inflammatory markers in participants with metabolic syndrome. Chronic inflammation and insulin resistance are two of the primary drivers of accelerated biological aging. Ginger addresses both through the same mechanism. Its warming effect on circulation is measurable. Gingerols cause direct vasodilation in peripheral blood vessels, improving circulation to the extremities and skin. How to use? Fresh ginger root steeped as tea daily. Slice a thumb-sized piece into hot water and steep for 10 minutes. Dried ginger powder delivers more concentrated shogaols, which are more potent than fresh gingerols for anti-inflammatory purposes. Both forms work. The traditional use was daily and consistent, not occasional. Chinese medicine specifically emphasized that ginger's benefits accumulate over time rather than producing immediate effects, which is consistent with what research shows about COX-2 inhibition and insulin resistance. The markers improve over weeks and months of regular consumption, not days. Superfood 14. This is the one I mentioned at the beginning, the Emperor's longevity herb. The compound that modern researchers identified as the only food-sourced molecule known to directly reverse a specific marker of biological aging. Superfood 14. He Shu Wu, also called Fotai. The name He Shu Wu translates as Mr. He's black hair, named after a legend recorded in Tang Dynasty texts about a man named He who consumed this root and watched his gray hair return to black, living past 130 years. The story traveled across China for 1,000 years. Researchers eventually asked why a legend about hair would survive that long, and found a biochemical answer. He Shou Wu contains stilbeneglycosides, compounds that demonstrate direct activity on melanocyte stem cells in hair follicles, the cells responsible for hair pigmentation that decline and exhaust with age. A study published in Cell found that the stilbeneglycoside 2-3-5-4 tetrahydroxystilbene 2-O-beta-D glucoside activates melanocyte stem cell renewal pathways in a way no other food compound has demonstrated. The same compound activates SIRT1, a sirtuin protein associated with longevity, metabolic regulation, and DNA repair. It also shows significant activity on the liver and kidney systems that TCM identified as the root organs of aging, and which modern research links to NAD+ metabolism and cellular energy production. How to use? He Shou Wu requires preparation. Raw root contains compounds that can irritate the liver in large amounts. The traditional preparation involves slow simmering with black beans and rice wine for many hours, a process that transforms the active compounds and eliminates the irritants. Prepared. He Shou Wu extract from a reputable source is the safest and most practical form for daily use. Start with small amounts and increase gradually over weeks. And now, Superfood 15, the flower of Chinese emperors. The plant whose name in Chinese literally means prolonged lifespan, and which addresses the three systems that TCM identified as most directly connected to aging: the liver, the eyes, and the mind. Superfood 15. Chrysanthemum, Juhua. In China, chrysanthemum is not primarily a decorative flower. It is medicine. The plant has been consumed as a daily tea and tonic for over 2,500 years. Ancient texts prescribe it specifically for clearing heat from the liver, brightening the eyes, and calming the mind. Three applications that sound metaphorical until you examine the biochemistry. Chrysanthemum contains luteolin and apigenin, two flavonoids with documented activity across all three traditional applications. Luteolin inhibits neuroinflammation in the central nervous system with a specificity that researchers describe as remarkable for a dietary compound. A study published in the Journal of Neuroinflammation found luteolin reduced cognitive decline markers in aging models more effectively than several synthetic compounds in the same class. Apigenin binds to GABA-A receptors, producing the calming, anxiolytic effect that TCM attributed to the flower for 25 centuries. Chrysanthemum polyphenols protect retinal cells from oxidative damage, the same mechanism behind the traditional prescription for eyes. And its hepatoprotective compounds reduce liver inflammation that accumulates with decades of metabolic activity. The emperor's flower addressed aging at its three most visible points: the clarity of the eyes, the sharpness of the mind, and the stability of the liver that processes everything the body encounters. How to use? Chrysanthemum tea, 8 to 10 dried flowers steeped in hot water for 5 minutes. Consumed daily, often combined with goji berries and green tea in the traditional 3-flower blend that Chinese medicine has prescribed for longevity and cognitive protection for centuries. The preparation is as simple as any cup of tea. The compounds it delivers are anything but simple. In Chinese medicine, chrysanthemum tea is consumed in the evening specifically because its GABA-modulating effects support the nervous system transition into rest and the overnight cellular repair processes that constitute the most productive hours of biological anti-aging the body performs. The ancient prescription was evening consumption. The modern neuroscience of sleep and cellular repair confirms why. Before I close, I need to tell you something. You just watched through 15 superfoods. Every single one. Most people won't do that. Most click away before the list gets to the foods that genuinely matter, the ones with the most specific mechanisms, the most documented history, the most directly applicable science. But you stayed, and that means something. So here's how I want to thank you. The complete practical bundle for everything we covered today: how to source each food in its effective form, how to prepare it the way the traditional medicine actually prescribed, and how to build a daily routine from these 15 foods. I made it available at 20% off for anyone who made it to the end of this video. Use the code FULLVIDEO at checkout. The link is in the first pinned comment below. No countdown, no pressure. Just my way of honoring the people who show up, pay attention, and take this seriously. The code is FULLVIDEO. It's waiting for you. These 15 foods were not invented by the wellness industry. They were documented, refined, and consumed across thousands of years by a civilization that understood aging better than most modern systems do. Every mechanism modern science has identified: telomere length, collagen synthesis, autophagy, the NRF2 pathway, cortisol regulation, mitochondrial health. Traditional Chinese medicine addressed through food. Not supplements, not pharmaceutical interventions. Food. Specific, precise, daily food consumed with the same consistency that we now apply to medication. The ancient texts didn't have the vocabulary of molecular biology, but they had something equally powerful: 5,000 years of careful observation about what actually happened to the people who ate these foods consistently over a lifetime. The science arrived later. The results were already documented. Tell me in the comments, which superfood on this list surprised you most? Which one are you incorporating first? And if you've already been using any of these, I want to hear what you've noticed. Share this with someone who is serious about aging well, not just living longer, but living better. There's a difference, and these 15 foods are part of how that difference gets made. Subscribe and ring the bell. Next week, we go deeper into the plants and foods that the ancient world understood better than we do. I'll see you in the next one.